Hi guys, this is Ranjit, and in this video I'll be talking about the various Xiaomi laptops and what kind of laptops will be ideal for what segment of users. In fact, if you guys recall, a couple of months ago I had actually reviewed the latest Xiaomi laptop, that is the Notebook 120, actually known as the Notebook Pro 120, and this is the latest one that comes with Intel 12th generation. But I was looking at Xiaomi's website and I noticed that the last year's Notebook Pro actually got the best award from the Indian Gadget Award, the Mi Notebook Pro specifically. And I was a part of this Indian Gadget Awards in 2020, was one of the core committee members, so I know how do they review this review. Whatever product gets awarded, it is judged independently by a bunch of other reviewers, I would say, from traditional media, online media, some professional testers, some YouTubers. So if everybody gives a vote to a particular product, then only it gets an award. So I was curious about them, and I noticed on Xiaomi's website they also had the Ultra model. So this is actually a review on it, and this was supposed to go back to Xiaomi. So I told them, why don't you send me the Ultra, because I'm a little bit curious about that one. So they did send me this Ultra. This is the Ultra, the bigger brother, and even the regular one that got the award. And I would say these are very interesting laptops. And one thing I noticed is that in all of these laptops, the build quality is fabulous. In fact, if you just remove the Xiaomi logo, this feels and looks like a MacBook Pro. The build quality is solid. It's that unibody metal, which is a rarity that is sadly not found on most Windows-based laptops. So in terms of build quality, they are doing a great job. But before actually I have a look at this, and one thing I noticed is that all these laptops were powered by Intel processor, and specifically the older ones are with the 11th generation, and the new one is with the 12th generation processor. And I still get a lot of questions from users regarding the different kind of processors by Intel, so that can be a little bit confusing. So I made some notes, so let's go over that first. Then I will show you which laptop I feel is for which kind of user. And guys, just want to make it clear that this video was made in association with Xiaomi, and Xiaomi had actually sent me all these laptops, but again, these are review units. This will be going back to Xiaomi very soon, and again, the thoughts and the testing what I've done is independently done by me. Just want to make it very clear. So guys, when we talk about the processor, it's not just the processor type, that is the Core i5, Core i7, Core i3 or Core i9, specifically if you're looking at Intel-based processor. You have to look at the family of the processor. For example, in most of the thin and light laptops from Intel, from laptop manufacturers, they might be using the U series of processors. And these are good enough, I would say. Again, these U series of processors, you get in Core i3, Core i5, Core i7, Core i5 and all of those things. But again, guys, note that these U series of processors are actually very power efficient, so you might find them in thin and light laptops and stuff. But in terms of raw performance, they are not the best in sustained raw performance. Next, then we also have the P series of processors from Intel, and these are actually a lot more powerful compared to the U series of processor. And again, we see this P series of processor in a lot of laptops. I would say that's slightly more powerful. And after that, generally we also have this sort of a processor that is known as the H series of processors from Intel. And again, these are actually used in the most powerful laptops. Generally, if you notice, most of the gaming laptops will have a H series processor, because these are designed for pushing the machines for sustained load. For example, if you're gaming or if you're doing heavy work like video editing or something like that, where the processing power requirements are a lot, the CPU is stressed a lot, their H series of processors are used. So again, that gives you a brief idea about the types of processor in Intel family, that is the U series processor, P series processor and H series of processor. And again, this will be relevant to both the 11th generation and 12th generation. Now let's specifically move to the latest 12th generation of processors from Intel. And here again, you will notice that in terms of processor, we actually now have two types of cores. You might notice something known as P core and E core. P core, think of this as this is the powerful core, and this is generally multi-threaded. Generally, it's basically 2 cores or something like that. Whereas E core is the efficiency core, and these are generally single-threaded. Think of this new 12th generation processor, P and E cores, something like that we have on the smartphones. We have powerful cores and power efficient core. So that is the big distinction that we are getting in Intel 12th generation processor. We have the P core and the E core. And again, a new thing that is also there on all 12th generation Intel processor is something known as the thread director. This is basically a hardware on the processor itself, and this actually communicates directly with the Windows task scheduler, which is on Windows 11, and basically it guides the Windows 11 to judge for a specific task what processor should be used, the P core or the E core. That's why it gets actually very, very good performance. And again, this thread director is actually exclusive to 12th generation processors as of now. So this gives you an idea about the processors from Intel, the 11th generation and 12th generation. I hope you have a good idea about U series, P series, H series, and again, if it's the 12th generation, we also have the P cores and the A cores, that are the efficiency cores. Now let's quickly have a look at these laptops. But first, let me actually give you an idea about the build quality, because that is something that I really liked on all these laptops. So guys, here are the laptops, the 3 laptops that I have, and this is the latest 12th generation one. This is the bigger brother, the Ultra, that is having a bigger screen, 15.2 inch. That's why you see physically this is bigger. And this is the Notebook Pro 11th generation, last year's. This is also having the 11th generation. The only thing I noticed is that both of these are actually identical. It's just this is bigger. So to give you a physical overview, I'll just use this one. And one thing to note is that the build quality is same on all of them. This is that unibody aluminum that we are having on all of them. Again, no flex or anything. Fabulous job in terms of build quality. This looks like and feels like a MacBook Pro. If I just change and put an Apple logo, it will feel like that. And again, all of them have actually a big trackpad. That's the same case with all of them, as you can see. Again, both these 11th generation models come in 2 variants, Core i5 or the Core i7 option is there. And we also have backlit keyboard on all of them. Again, identical. All of them have a fingerprint scanner over here, and the build quality is really, really good on this one. If we talk about the ports, again, if you notice, we have a Thunderbolt port over here. We have one more over here, and you charge it via this. We also have an LED light. We have a full-size HDMI port and USB Type A port. And this end also, we have a USB Type A port and a headphone jack. These ports are common between all of them, and as I've told you guys, all of them also come with office, home, and student, so you don't have to worry. I'll just put this one. This I used it a lot actually. I used this for over a week. I just don't have space. First, we look at this one. Let me just adjust my camera. So guys, this is the Mi Notebook Ultra, and this is just the bigger variant, I would say, of the Mi Book Pro. So I'll have a look at this. And as I've told you guys, we also have a fingerprint scanner over here. So if you just tap in, it unlocks, and I like the screen quality on this one. Both the Mi Book Pro and the Ultra are actually having a 3.2K screen, and this is actually a 90 hertz screen. So again, not a regular 60 hertz screen, and the quality of the screen is actually really, really good. That's the big difference that I'm noticing with other Windows laptops at this price point. The build quality and the screen quality. Xiaomi did not compromise on these 2 things, and these 2 things are one of the most expensive parts apart from the processor on a laptop. So that is something that you have to understand. So that's the same case, and again, it also has that backlighting for the keyboard. You can adjust it on and off, so that is there on all these laptops. And if I specifically talk about the processor, again, all these laptops are actually having the H series processor. This one is having the 11th generation H series processor. This is having that 15.6 inch screen, and as I've told you, 90 hertz. So again, and this gives the vibe of the MacBook Pro 16 inches. I would definitely say the build quality, and it's very comfortable to type. The trackpad is very, very good. And if I talk about the processing power and all those things, and in fact, I ran some benchmarks on this one. This is the Core i7 variant, comes with Intel Iris Xe graphics. And if I just yeah, I have saved it. Let's start with the, what do you say, Geekbench CPU, and again this is in balance mode, not in the performance. Again, as you can see, very healthy score. Let me adjust the brightness. 1580 for single core, and we are getting, let me zoom in, and for single core we are getting 1580, and for multi-core we are getting 5165, which is a very respectable score. Again, I also ran the GPU benchmark on this, and OpenCL we got a score of 15,967. Apart from this, I also ran Cinebench R23, which basically stresses the CPU, and here we got a respectable score of 4,272. So yeah, for day-to-day activities and stuff, if you are a professional, you also do a little bit of photography and stuff, color accuracy is very important to you. You can have a look at it. And if you just prefer a bigger size laptop, I would say this is the one to go for you. But if portability is a big factor to you, then I would say you can go with the regular Notebook Pro that is having a 14-inch screen. The battery life also was actually pretty decent on these laptops. Actually, anywhere, again, it depends on your usage. You can get about 5 to 7 hours of usage on this one. Again, one more thing that I liked and completely forgot is that all these laptops do charge with the USB Type-C port. They support PD charging. That's common across all the three laptops. So again, you just have a single charger and you can charge your smartphones also. So if you're looking for a machine, you want that build quality, screen quality is a very high priority to you, you can definitely have a look at this one. The only con that I noticed with this specific model is, though it's great for watching videos and stuff, but the speaker output is pretty average. That is what I felt. But apart from that, overall, for the build quality, the quality of the screen that you're getting, and the overall performance, still the 11th generation is good one for general users. I feel this is a good laptop. Okay, let me just put this to the side, and let's come to the latest one. So this is the latest Notebook Pro 120, and again this comes in India as of now with just the Intel Core i5 processor, and this is also a H series processor, guys. All of them are having that H series processor. The good thing about this one is that this is actually having a 2.5K screen, but this can go up to 120 Hertz refresh rate. Yes, up from 90 Hertz that we are finding on this one. Yes, you can revert back to 60 Hertz, but that because of that 120 Hertz, everything feels a little bit more smoother on this one. And RAM and all those things are not an issue. Again, on these laptops, you're getting 16 gigabytes of RAM and all these things. So RAM management and everything is not an issue. Again, the quality of the screen is very good. It's a 2.5K screen. So very good for color work, photo editing, and even I would say this is a decent laptop if you are into video editing because of the latest 12th generation H series processor on this one. I'll show you the benchmark. Again, the trackpad as usual is good, and the RAM on use, this is the faster LPDDR5 RAM, 16 gigabytes that you get on this. Again, the same thing, PD charging and all this thing. Build quality same, fingerprint scanner same, and everything. The only thing I would say, this is having the latest 12th generation processor, which is definitely a lot more powerful compared to the 11th generation. In fact, to give you an idea, let me actually show you the benchmarks. And let me zoom in. Okay, if we talk about the Geekbench, as you can see, we got a single core score of 1667. But notice the multi-core score, 8824, which is a fabulous score. And guys, this is the Core i5 variant, not the Core i7. And if we look at the Geekbench CUDA, this is having the dedicated NVIDIA GPU. We also have it without one. Here we are getting a score of 38146. But the base variant of this one does not have a dedicated NVIDIA GPU. That comes with Intel Iris graphics, and I feel for most of the users, I feel that's a better bet. Cinebench here, this laptop really impressed me. And if you notice, the multi-core score that we got was 9146. This is almost about 80 to 85% better compared to the 11th generation. So if you are specifically looking for a laptop where the CPU performance is a very high criteria, then you can have a look at this one. This is a beast of a machine for a person who requires a lot of CPU processing. That way it is very good, but the processing power is very, very good. But again, coming to some of the shortcomings, because the processing power is so good on this one, if on battery, if you're really pushing it at 120 hertz, the battery life is average. You can just get about 4 hours. But again, if you pull it down to about 60 hertz and don't push it, then yes, you can get about 5.5 hours of usage. Also, because of the processing power, one thing I noticed on this laptop is that this one, the fans do ramp up a lot more compared to the 11th generations one on this one. And also this, if you're pushing it, particularly playing games or doing video editing, this area can get a little bit hot. But again, I had this laptop for about 2 months and I have been pushing it. It's been working perfectly fine. But yeah, definitely this gets a little bit more warmer compared to the 11th generation ones. So guys, that was the Notebook 120 Pro. Again, I would say this is for people who want that high computing, heavy processing task is required. For example, if you do video editing or in areas where a lot of CPU power is required, then I feel this is a very good laptop. Again, I always say that you don't need, for almost regular users, you just don't need the fastest computer always. It's like saying everyone that, okay, a 1000cc bike is the best for everyone. No, that's not the case. So I feel if you only feel that your applications or something require a lot of processing power, then you can go with this latest 12th generation processor and this specific Xiaomi laptop. But for most of you, I would say, who are not doing very, very heavy computing, still the older generations Ultra or the regular Pro does make a lot of sense. And again, yes, the pricing, again guys, regarding the pricing, I just am picking up the pricing that I'm seeing today, the shoot of the video, that is 7th of November, and as you can see, these start at about 57,000. Again, the build quality is fabulous, but again, I still understand that some people might want to have a laptop, a decent good quality laptop, even at a lower budget. So if you're that kind of a thing, I was looking at Xiaomi's website, you can definitely have a look at the Redmi Book 15 Pro, and this starts at about 36,000, and this is still having the Intel 11th generation processors, and overall the components used on this one is actually pretty good and definitely offers a lot of value starting at just 36,000 rupees. And I feel this is ideal for, let's say you want to give a laptop to your child or something, or a secondary laptop that you want to just keep it in your house. You can definitely have a look at this one. Anyways guys, that's it for now for this video. Do let me know what do you feel about the same. Anyways guys, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Ranjit and I hope to see you in my next video. Take care guys.